Hi Scorpio, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is going to be a general mid-month check-in for September 2024. So, I just want to say that thank you to all my subscribers out there. I have reached a milestone on my channel, which is fairly young. It's 9 months old, and we have 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So thank you so much. And I feel like it's time to give back. So what I'm going to do is I'm offering a contest during this reading, and it will be a chance for you to get a free reading with me. And so sometime during this reading, I will take a small break and I'll tell you about the reading and you can take it from there. All right, so we're going to start the reading with the Tarot of the Abyss, and I'm going to clarify it with the Rider-Waite deck. And so we're going to start off with looking at a pattern, a situation, an issue in your life that's showing up right now for healing. And patterns are like, you'll notice that, there's a pattern showing up, it's repeating, and you're starting to see, well, why is this happening? Why does this keep happening? Or whatever, problem, struggle you're dealing with right now. That'll be the first part. And then from that, we're going to look at your shadow. So we're going to do a little bit of shadow work here. And if you're not familiar with those terms, shadow or shadow work, I'm going to leave you a video in my description box below. And it's a video that I've put together. It's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it's really about facing your own shadow. It's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And it really is something that I've put together because of my own healing journey for my complex trauma that I've been working on intensively for the last 7.5 years. But really all my life, but not intensively like I have been. And so we're going to look at what aspect is coming up from your shadow, which is your unconscious, because that's what's going to be driving or having the biggest impact on the situation you're sitting with right now. Tends to repeat itself. So when something wants to heal in your system, it's going to come out in our daily life is what I'm saying. And it happens to me all the time. So that's number 2. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to look at what guidance does the tarot have for you to begin to heal this. This is a healing channel, and the healing journey is a process. And so the tarot here is not going to give you some magical answer, but it will give you something. It'll tell you what you need to kind of start to work on here, what you need to focus on. And then I will give you some advice myself, and I'll give you some, I'll link some other videos, a playlist or a video from my other channel again, Carol Cares. And that'll be more specific to what you're dealing with right now. And then I'll leave you with your September 2024 reading if you haven't had a chance to see that as well. Okay, so let's start with what pattern, situation, or issue is showing up in Scorpio's life right now for healing. And you have the Ace of Wands in reverse that flew out of the deck. I love when that happens. What aspect of your shadow is driving or impacting this right here? One card, please. You have the King of Cups. What guidance does the tarot have for you to begin to heal? One card, please. I will make an exception for 2. 9 of Wands and the 7 of Cups in reverse. This is what the tarot wants. This is the guidance reading here. All right, so let's clarify that with the Rider-Waite here. And I did shuffle these before I came on, but do a couple of shuffles right now. And we'll ask for clarifiers first for this Ace of Wands. All right, 2 to 3 cards, please. Ooh, there's 2. Your cards are coming out nice, Scorpio. Shouldn't say that. I probably jinxed myself. All right, one more here for us. Oh, that one turned up. King of Pentacles. So you have the Strength card behind the Ace of Wands. You have the Strength card. the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the King of Pentacles. So you have two kings in your deck. Interesting, so not in your deck, in your reading so far. King of Cups here. Can I have some clarification? That's sitting in the shadow here. 2 to 3 cards. I think I got a few. You got the Knight of Wands, the Judgment card. There's 4 here. The 2 of Cups in reverse. And the Empress in reverse. And I have probably two cards here, since I've got already 2 cards. The 5 of Wands. And maybe one more. Oh, give me 2 more. Oh, 3 more. 7 of Wands. And the 4 of Cups in reverse. And the 9 of Wands. Okay. It just makes it a little bit longer, the reading, where, you know, but it's okay. We're fine. So let's begin with what pattern, issue, situation, problem you're dealing with right now, Scorpio. And we start off with the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands in an upright position is, any ace is an offer. It's an offer from the universe. It's like the wand talks about the direction, our purposeful direction that we want to take our life in. It's wands are very much a fiery energy, and it's what, you know, pulls us and drives us to do something or to move towards, you know, what it is. Move usually towards our authenticity. It's something very creative for ourselves. And when I say creative, it's because it's something we want to do for ourselves. It's something totally different. We've never done it before. But there's this offer from the universe that says, you know, here's this offer for you to take your life into this direction, this new direction, a different direction for yourself. But it's in reverse, so there's a resistance on your part. Maybe you're feeling something here of doing something different, but there's a big resistance on your part to doing it, you know, and we'll find out why. And, you know, oftentimes it's fear. And because I see the Strength card behind here, and the Strength card's coming up here, and the Strength card is like it's a major arcana card. So it's this universal force that comes in for you. And it's a reminder that says, you know, you have this strength. And it's not so much the physical strength at all. It's the strength to go inwards. It's the strength to go inwards. And it's interesting because, you know, what does that mean? Like, why do I have to go inwards? Well, you know, there's this creative direction here. The universe is trying to pull you into this new direction. I don't know if you feel it or if you know it. And it's saying, you know, it's time maybe for you to go inwards and try to figure out what it is. And oftentimes when there's this invitation for us to go inwards, and I see the Empress here coming up in your shadow, and so we're going to talk about her, but I don't see, like, she's a feminine energy there. But to go inwards mean it's like this invitation to go inwards, and that is your, like, to go into your body and to start to feel and get in touch with your intuition, and to find out, you know, what is this new direction for me? You know, why is there a resistance to taking it? Like I said, maybe you're struggling with it. Maybe you're feeling it. Maybe there's something you want to do and you're not sure what it is, and you're very much blocked, and there's a resistance here. But you have the Strength card that's coming in saying you can do this. You can go inwards and into your body and start to feel and learn what it means to get grounded. And so you get a better sense of, you know, what's coming up here. Because you have the Seven of Pentacles here that is coming up for you here. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card about this individual that's been just working away. Oh, sorry, it's the Eight of Pentacles. I'm glad I caught it. It was like, I knew it was lined up here. I'm going, no, that's the Eight. And so, sorry, it's the Eight of Pentacles here. So that's very interesting because, and it's in reverse here. So the Pentacle, in this case, the Eight of Pentacles in upright position talks about doing something. He's been working away all his life at making all these pentacles, and he seems quite satisfied. You don't see a real tired look on his face, or it's like, why am I doing this? It's the Eight of Pentacles talks about someone who is doing something, a job, a purpose, moving towards their purpose, doing something that feels purposeful. And the universe really wants to take you into that direction where maybe you're feeling it. It's like, I want to do something that has more purpose in my life, And oftentimes when we're retired, I'm retired, and you start to think, well, I want to do something that has purpose to it, And I was not a tarot reader when I was, I'm a retired teacher, and I watched some tarot, but I didn't even dream that I was ever going to do this. And so it's kind of like, is there something are you feeling the nudge? Are you in a position now where you're like, I want to do something. I want to do a job. I want to do a job that feels purposeful, that's meaningful, but it's in reverse. So I'm seeing here that there's a real, resistance. A lot of times when let's say we're in a job and, brings in, good enough money or whatever. And oftentimes we get stuck in a job, and you just think about the number of hours we put into it, and we don't really like it. But it's like, well, what else am I going to do? Or maybe there's something else you could do, So is there something else that you think you want to do that you're just kind of going, I don't know. I'm wondering, it reminds me a lot of my own daughter, who is, she's a pharmacist, and brings her, good enough money. But on the side, I know I can talk about her because I know she's not watching this. On the side, she is writing a book, and she has written a book, and it's just sitting there. And she knows that it's an amazing book. I've read it. And it's just, a big part of me would love to see her quit her pharmacist job and go into this brand new direction that I know she's meant to go into. And she loves it. She's passionate about writing. But here's the situation, right? So is it similar to you? That, there's just something that you, deep down inside of you, that you want to do to take your life in a different direction? But you have this King of Pentacles here. Very interesting that this King comes out right at the end for you. Because the King is our ego self. And in particular, the King of Pentacles is the one that would not want you to get grounded. It is the one that would like to keep you in your head. And it also is the one that, it would like probably tell you, it would be ridiculous for you to go into this different direction that you want to go into. It wouldn't believe in that kind of stuff. It's very much, it's pentacles, so it's very much interested in, the money part of it and the materials part of it, saying, this won't bring you money, this isn't a good idea. And it almost sounds like sometimes our caretakers when we were growing up, where they discourage us from going, and I'm guilty of it myself, discourage you from going in the direction that you were meant to go into, because that wouldn't bring you money, even though, it's your passion. And so the ego self is here blocking you right at the end here, that's telling you, no, don't do this. And so that's very interesting that there's something here that's coming up for you, a new direction for you. Could be with your job. It could be related to your job for sure. And your ego self is going, mm-mm. So what is it in your shadow here that's preventing you from going in this direction? That, you know, it's a new direction for you, but there's something here in your shadow. So you start off with, no surprise, the King of Cups. And it's the king. It's our ego self. But this time, and I said you had two kings here. And this time it's the king of emotions. And it is the one that will tell you, it's your ego self again, that will say to you, you know, don't go there, don't feel. Don't touch emotions, because the ego is a very, very petrified part, and it's scared that your emotions will eat you alive. And it's very interesting that the strength card did come there for you in the beginning to say, you know, you can do this. You have the strength to go inwards and to start to feel your way through this new direction you have to go into. But there's something in your shadow right away has you very much shut down. Tells me that your ego self took over when you were younger. And when that happens, it's because when we were younger and we have these powerful emotions for whatever reason, of shame, or I have something in my eye here, of shame, or just big emotions that we can't handle in our body, because that's where our emotions are. Our emotions are in our body. They're not in our head. But the ego self will quickly bring you into your head, because it doesn't want you to feel these big emotions, because you can't when you're younger. And so you are very much shut down. And I see here that there's a part of you right behind this ego self that's blocking you, which is an adolescent part of you. It's a knight. The knights in my deck, there's 4 of them. And they are that part of you that wanted to be free, to be your authentic self. And here's the wand. And we talked about this Ace of Wand right here. Your new direction that the universe wants to take you in. Here's the Knight. Here's that part of you that wanted the freedom to be creative, to do what you wanted to do, to take your life into that direction that you wanted to go into. And it's sitting here. And so I'm wondering if you're feeling some real hopelessness right now, some even depression. You may even be feeling some anger that's wanting to come out. Because if you are blocked, I want you to think of a teenager when they were younger and they want to do something and they're told, no, you can't do it. Well, there's 2 options. They're going to give up and feel completely hopeless. And that's where the depression comes in. And they're going to get angry. They're going to get angry, like seething angry. And so this is what's sitting in your shadow, this part of you that wanted the freedom to be you, to be authentic and take your life into the direction you wanted to. And there's this calling right behind it. The Judgment card is this universal force. It's a major arcana card that's calling all these individuals out of their coffins here. You have a calling. There is something that's sitting right in the middle of your shadow. There's a calling here for you to get back to your authenticity, to get back to what it was that you wanted to do when you were younger, because you're wanting to do something right now, but it was shut down when you were younger. And that's why this is coming up here, for you to heal these emotions that will come up with, wanting that freedom to do what you wanted to do and you were told no. Well, there's some anger, like I said, and hopelessness that you need to heal in order to bring your life into this direction, this thing that you want to do. And this 2 of Cups in reverse here speaks of these individuals in an upright position sharing this cup, exchanging a cup. And it's a very healing relationship with this caduceus right here. This doesn't talk about 2 people coming together. Like, it's not going to talk about this savior, this lover that's going to come and save you. It talks about this beginning. It's number 2, right? There are 10 in the suit. So it's number 2 of the cups. So it's the beginning of this intimate relationship, not with someone else, with yourself. The two parts of you, this masculine and this feminine aspect of yourself, bringing those together. I talked about that feminine side of you because, you know, because the ego self is coming up quite a bit. That is the masculine side of you. But right at the end of your shadow is almost like two cards here. The first one says, you know, it's blocked here. There's a block here of your two sides coming together, which is really you. And that's what this whole Fool's Journey is about in the tarot. It's about joining those two parts of you, the masculine and the feminine part. They both have a purpose, but it's the feminine part that we really ignore. Last card, and I said I was digging for it in here. Here's your feminine side. Here's the Empress, number 3 in the Major Arcana. Actually, she is the second half of the feminine energy in the Major Arcana. She's the Empress. And the second one is the High Priestess, which is number 2, the intuition, our intuition. This Empress right here has everything to do with her body, everything to do with emotions. She lives her life through her emotions. She makes all her decisions through her emotions. She's not afraid to get into her body and get in touch with her intuition, those feminine aspects of herself, and to feel her emotions. And that's blocked here for you. That's blocked. So the feminine side of you was very much blocked. This whole feeling side of you was very much blocked, and I can see that. So I'm going to say that you weren't allowed to feel. There's a reason why you shut down when you were younger, and that's why you're having a lot of trouble with this decision you have to make, because you're very much in your head. And in order to make this decision, it's in our body. You have to get back in your body and start to feel some of these emotions that you needed to feel when you were younger, you know, because you were blocked. That's because the Knight of Wands here, you wanted to take your life in this direction. You may not even know what this direction is and what you were meant to do. This purposeful thing here with this 8 of Pentacles that's in reverse here. You may not even know what it is that you're meant to do. But there's a calling sitting here right in the middle. Right in the middle of, like I said, in the middle here. Here's this calling to get back to who you really are. There's a real calling here to find out what it is you were meant to do. All right, this is the time that I'm going to talk about how you can enter the contest to win a free reading from me. So, first of all, when you clicked on the thumbnail, there is a picture on the front of it. And if you look at that picture, there is a restaurant on the picture, if you look closely. And the name is there. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at that restaurant. It's, I'm going to give you a clue. It's from a popular destination in Canada. And the restaurant itself is quite popular in that area. And so what I want you to do is I want you to email yellowcardinaltarot@gmail.com, and it's written on the screen. And I want you to tell me what food item this popular restaurant in a touristy area in Canada is best known for. And the food item itself is 2 words. And there's another small little clue on the picture itself. If you'll see it if you look closely. So you're going to have to go back to the thumbnail that you clicked on and get a close look at it. For some of you that have been to this area, or for some of you, I know I have people out there that are actually subscribers that live in this area, believe it or not. So yeah, and that'll be your chance to win. And once you email me, I'll pick the first 5 people and I will email you back and to let you know what you need to do from there. Good luck. And so how do you start to heal this? How do you learn? How do you start to get back into your body? What is the tarot here? What's it saying? Well, the first one is this Nine of Wands card here. And this particular and you know, nines we are the wands we talked about was, you know, this purposeful direction you're meant to go in. But the wands here, the nine in particular, will talk about the fact that this individual, I mean, he's been through a lot. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot in your childhood. I mean, for the, you know, because I said that your emotions were shut down. So I'm seeing here, especially because the Empress being in reverse, because she's in reverse, that'll often bring about feelings of hopelessness and feelings of anger. And we talked about the Knight feeling the same thing. And so I'm going to say, like, you've been through a lot. And, you know, there's some real big emotions here of hopelessness and anger that your ego self is blocking. And the Seven of Cups is here in reverse. And you remember at the beginning that these two cards came out together. And so because you've been through a lot, this is what happens when you've been through a lot. If you look at the Seven of Cups, for me, this is a card of an individual that's very much up in their head and very clouded, right? I've had many energy readings done when for 2.5 years straight of my own complex trauma healing. I had a lot of energy healing done, and one of the individuals that one of my energy healers actually described my head when I was younger as walking in the clouds. And I always think about this card. When I think about this card, I see it's like very dissociative, very walking around in a dissociative state because of the trauma that you have. And I haven't used that word up to now. I said you've been through a lot, but this is a card of trauma here, a lot of trauma, and you're very much dissociated. And when you have these kings coming out here, that's what the kings do. They will dissociate us. Our ego self is the one that dissociates us, actually. And why do they dissociate us? Well, because there's some emotions here that you need to feel, and they don't want you to. They want you to stay in your head. They don't want you in your body. Ego self, petrified of emotions. And you have this Five of Wands card that comes out next. And again, we're talking about what you need to heal, what the guidance from the tarot. And it wants you to deal with this Five of Wands card. And here's the wands again. You have a few wands here that are coming out for you. And that is really a good thing, in that, you know, I can feel that there's this energy wanting to really pull you in this direction. And the Five of Wands speaks about these individuals. This is the card that's the battle of the ego, if you want, where they're comparing their wands. They're not beating each other up. They're comparing them. Mine's better than yours, and mine's longer than yours, and, you know, I'm going to win. I got the strongest baton here. And so this is really a card of self-worth. It's a card of feeling, you know, unworthy, and comparing yourself with other people, judging. You know, it is a card of inner conflict. So the universe wants you to look at that. It's a card of shame, really what it is, of that unworthiness. That's the emotion that needs to come out here. To start off with is to deal with it. It wants you to deal with some of your shame and feeling unworthy. And the other next card that comes out is another wand card, and it's the Seven this time. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. And the Seven of Wands talks about this individual that's on this platform here, and it has all these other people that are down here. When you're on this healing journey, and myself, and for sure, I've had to take this journey I'm alone, and I've had to take it alone. I've gone no contact from my own family of origin, because this would have been them down here wanting to pull me back down, you know, wanting to tell me that, you know, this trauma that you need to deal with or you need to heal didn't exist. And so this can be a really lonely journey. And so maybe you're feeling a lot of loneliness, and that, of course, needs to be healed as well. Because when you were younger, if you were not allowed to feel, if you were not allowed to take your life in that direction you wanted to, if you felt this hopelessness, if you felt this anger because of that, you would have felt very, very much alone because you were misunderstood, and you would have felt like you didn't matter. And that's where the shame comes in. And that's where this loneliness comes in, right? Because the loneliness that you will feel on this journey, believe it or not, is not about now. And I know you can argue, and your ego self will say it is about now. But as an adult, we are meant to be able to deal with this loneliness that we're feeling. But the real hardcore loneliness that tears at you when you sitting in depression is about, it's from your shadow. It's about your childhood. And those are the emotions we need to get back into our body and start to feel. You have this Four of Cups here on offer. This Four of Cups right here. In this card, it's in reverse. So in an upright position, this card says, this is very much a card where I don't want to feel. I have these three cups of emotions. Cups are emotions. And the universe is wanting to say, okay, let's start to feel now. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's start to feel some of these emotions that you have blocked, that are blocked. And this is in reverse here, right? This individual is saying, no, And the universe really wants you to accept this cup. Really wants you to accept this cup. Because this is an upright, it's like, no, I'm not accepting it. And the universe is saying, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to accept this cup again, so that you can start to feel. And very interesting, you started with the Nine of Wands, and you ended with the Nine of Wands. And to me, it's the same line, and it's starting and ending with it. And this particular one says, you're feeling quite dissociated from your trauma. This talks about your trauma and what you've been through. And it's time now to start to really heal and feel what you went through. Feel some of this pain that you've went through right here. And so I'm going to leave you with, I want to teach you how, because your ego self is very much keeping you up in your head, I think there's a real big call here with this Empress card and this Strength card to learn how to go inward so you can start to get in touch with some of these emotions. And so I want to leave you, Scorpio, with a playlist on grounding. And I'm going to take you in my backyard, and I'm going to show you how to ground yourself, how to ground your mind, and then how to get into your body, because you have your Strength card that says, you can go in there and to get in touch with some of these emotions that you have buried, that are being blocked from your ego self, your King of Cups, King of Emotions, who doesn't want to have anything to do with emotions, petrified of emotions. But once you get into your body, you're not in your ego self anymore, because your ego self is petrified to go into the body, so it'll keep you up here. So I'll give you a playlist on grounding. I'll leave you with your September 2024 reading that I did for you. And yeah, fill out, there's a contest there for a free reading if you want. And lastly, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. It's a difficult journey, but it's the most important one in your life. So take care, Scorpio, and I will see you next month. Bye.